IPOs.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Patra and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the latest cues from the D Street, starting from the benchmark index moves to sectoral action and all the stocks that are buzzing the most in trade. We'll also get you expert views to find out where exactly are opportunities emerging for your investments in the equity world. But first up, a quick check as to how the markets are moving at this point in time. Well, comfortably higher in trade today. It's panning out to be a great Tuesday. 18,700 is now there on the Nifty 50 index. You can see 104 point of a jump, half odd percent of gains coming in. 63,000 again reclaimed on the Sensex as well. About 350 points of an uptick is what you can spot here. The mid caps are taking the lead with a percent uptick today. 350 points of a gain for the Nifty mid cap 100 index. The small cap index also moving higher with 0.6% of gains coming in. In terms of the other sectors as well, a lot of sectors are participating in the kind of rally that you're seeing in the markets today. And of course, a whole host of news factors that are leading to this sentiment uptick. We saw double bonanza coming in yesterday, a positive surprise on IIP and a negative surprise also coming in on the inflation factor as well. The Nifty Bank, however, still down by about 0.2% in trade, slipping amid volatility towards the lower point of the day. The FMCG stocks have taken a lead today, 1.3% uptick for this one. So the consumption oriented stocks are definitely doing well in today's trade. You can see the IT stocks continuing their momentum, 0.5% up in trade as well. Apart from this, the autos are sulking slightly, about 0.1% of losses at the day's low point today. So they've slipped into the slowest lane. Like I pointed out, Nifty Consumer, Healthcare Index is what you can actually see uptick in financial services contributing in the Nifty Bank as well. A lot of sectors that are doing well in trade today. The pharma stocks are also inching higher. In fact, at the day's high. So one of the indices that are taking the lead in today's trading action. In terms of the Nifty gainers today, again, you can spot a whole host of names coming in. As far as the consumption names are concerned, Titan, Asian Paints, Tata Consumer up in trade, Bajaj Finserv up in trade, Cipla from the pharma pack is doing well, Divis Laboratories, another pharma-oriented stock that's up in trade. On the lower side, however, it's Kotak Mahindra Bank, SBI. You can see even M&M, Coal India and HCL Technologies dragging about just very less losses, about 0.3% of losses for these, and Kotak Bank down by 1% odd. So the losses are minimal. But the gains are actually, higher. So the market breadth is favoring the positives today. But let's welcome our guest on the show. Vineet Bolinchkar joins in, Head of Research at Ventura Securities. Mr. Bolinchkar, good afternoon, and thank you so much for taking the time out for this discussion. Well, how are you looking at the markets right now? Again, we've seen uptick continuing, 18,700 right now on the Nifty again. So we're once again inching closer to those all-time high levels. The macros have been supportive. We've seen the RBI policy coming out, which has come out in expectations with the markets as well, with the pause continuing. On the other hand, we did see even the macros of inflation and the industrial production also coming in supportive zone as well. All eyes are now on the US CPI and the US Fed positions as well. How do you expect the markets to pan out from here on now?
See, there is an expectation in the market that interest rates globally will fall off sharply, keeping in mind the cause or, rapid slowdown. But, to my mind, that is unlikely to happen because there is a shortage of money in the US markets. So you are playing out between two sides of quantitative easing and having inflation. And on the other side, you want to tighten to, curtail the liquidity. So we are going to be in a situation where interest rates are going to keep moving up in the US. And if you see in India, if you just leave out from 2020 to 2022, you will see that, 6.5 was a very, very benign interest rate levels in the Indian markets earlier. So, we are at those spots, and in India also, we do not expect much decline in the interest rates, maybe 25 points here and there. But, ultimately the busy season credit policy will catch up and then the interest rates will start. So we have to keep in mind one fact that interest rates are or close to the bottom, and we cannot expect much on that. Having said that, going to the growth and the inflation context, I think the inflation in India is going to come off. RBI is doing a great job about it, and their policies are keeping in mind the global volatility, and so they are not committing to a longer term time frame, other than the fact that they want to keep inflation between the 2 to 6 band with the median at 4. So keep, and we are very close to that median of 4, and expected to dip further. But with rains, if they play truant, then it could be a different story. So that is why they've gone on a pause and not guided much ahead. But what I believe is that our story is intact. We will keep playing out. There is a transition from the Western economy to India. I'll give you little spots. I know people who have given up their US citizenship and have come back to India to stay. And that's a dramatic shift that is happening, because of which prices in, the commercial capitals of the world like Bangalore, Bombay, Delhi,
Yeah.
3 BHKs are going up, are
Yeah.
shooting through. So, that is a trend India is going to play out. And I believe that, we are in those nervous 90s before we see a big bang move happening. I think one of the factors holding this back is going to be what the US will do in their coming MPC
Yeah.
or their Fed meet. But, once that is through, and, technically, if you talk, levels around 19,000, 18,750 is what I have been looking at. If they're taken out convincingly, then we are up for a very, very nice rally. Uh, in terms of 1 year forward CY24 earnings, we are at 17 times, so we are on the average. So great time to buy stocks. The large cap has started participating. Banking stocks have not been in the run, maybe because big boy HDFC and HDFC Limited merger is much on the anvil, and then they will put up their show after that. But I believe that overall Indian markets will do very well,
Okay.
and just at that point where we will see an inflection taking the markets higher uh, in a vertical trajectory.
Absolutely. So all those points very well noted, and going forward, all the viewers and investors should take note of this as well, that in the long term, Indian markets are expected to do well. But our focus today is also on the news flow. We are seeing some of the stocks really react sharply on the downside because there is individual news for those stocks as well. I'm talking about Z Entertainment Enterprises. Now, the shares of this stock fell about 6.5%, and that's after the market regulator, SEBI, or Securities Exchange Board of India, has barred the chairman, Subhash Chandra, and the CEO, Puneet Goenka, from holding any key managerial positions. Now, this is after the SEBI, has actually looked at an order and has said that there have been some siphoning of the funds which appear to be well planned scheme in some instances. Also, the layering of transactions which have been involved are using as many as 13 entities as pass-through entities within a short span of just 2 days only. This is definitely a news flow that has impacted the stock today. But your own thoughts, does it come as a major blow to the company, especially at a time when the company has been seeking regulatory approvals for the merger with Sony Pictures Networks India?
So, I think that the Sony Z merger will definitely go through. But what has happened is that this kind of announcement by SEBI has put the spanner in the works for a little time and created uncertainty. We also have to realize that the Goenkas and the original promoters of G. Subhash Chandra did not hold very much stake in the company, and it was very piecemeal. And they were also the ones driving this merger. So
Yeah.
while Sony has stayed away from commenting on what will happen, the SEBI has given the asset management a time of 21 days to respond to all the allegations that have been made against them. And these are
Yeah.
pretty serious allegations, and we have seen what has happened in the case of Yes Bank, right?
Yeah.
So, it's not looking very hunky dory for the uh, erstwhile promoters. And but I believe that there will be some time lag. Everyone will be watching the situation. SEBI will also not want to give the go ahead for the merger. You know, until and unless some kind of clarity emerges on how this situation pans out.
So that means the merger would be hanging in balance. It may go through, but it may be delayed till the time clarity will emerge from this.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, the interim order, do you think is also likely to be challenged by the promoters?
No, they have to respond to that, right? And they will obviously also want to challenge it, because if you don't challenge it, then you are saying that, I agree with everything.
Yeah.
So they will perforce be have to challenge that, and they will also have to respond to uh, this order that has been given to them.
Okay. In fact, just now I'm getting some news which says that, of course, these are reports that suggest that Subhash Chandra and Puneet Goenka have moved SAT against the SEBI order on the principle of natural justice. And SAT is likely to hear the plea on June 15. That is what I'm getting through some reports right now. So what can be expected till June 15? We are sitting on 13th. A day after tomorrow is, if at all, SAT really hears the plea. What can be expected now?
So as I said, the limbo the situation is now in limbo, and we have to go by the occurrences of these events that pan out into the future. So right now, it's not going anywhere,
Yeah.
and investors who are invested, hoping that the merger would happen, will have to bide their time just for a while.
Right. On the other hand, so far, after this order, Zee has also given out its own statement where they say that Zee exudes confidence, saying that the company will continue to create value for all stakeholders. Even the board is currently in the process of reviewing the detailed order, and they have said that appropriate legal advice is being sought in order to take the next steps as required. This is as per the official statement that has been released by Zee as well. SEBI, like you pointed out, has asked Zee to place its direction before the board within 7 days from the date of receipt, and also the regulator has given both Subhash Chandra and Puneet Goenka 21 days of time to file their reply or objections in this case. So till the time this happens, the SAT is also already going to be hearing this case, and the stock prices have already taken a beating today, about 7% odd or so. Do you think this can further dent the sentiments till the time clarity emerges?
No, I think most of the damage has been done. The
Okay.
promoters have been barred from holding any positions, so they're not in any decision-making capacity. Now the legal battle is between the promoters and SEBI. Uh, Allegations are on the promoters. Okay.
Yeah.
And we have seen that the money has been channeled back into the company through various layers. So, the money is still with the company, right? So, and the business is a very solid business. The entertainment business is very strong franchise, and I expect no, uh, slowdown in the uh, growth path of the company as such, because the business model is fairly intact. It's a well settled
Okay.
business model. So,
Okay.
this provides a lot of positivity to the merger. Okay. But having said that, I believe that, we need to let this situation play out, because the allegations are rather serious, and we just need to be sure that there are not too many skeletons coming out of the Pandora's box.
Yeah.
Else, things could get a little more murkier. So,
Okay.
keeping this in mind, I think it's a better situation to just kind of let the water flow and take things with a little bit of time lag.
But and amid these dips, would you advise investors to take advantage of these dips, or should one still stay away till the time clarity emerges, whether it is on Zee or any other listed company from the group?
So, I will answer your question in another way, is that, in our market, which is an explosive growth market, there are so many opportunities abound. Why restrict yourself where your money could get blocked for a substantial period of time?
Right.
If you are invested, there is not much that you can do but play it out. But if you're looking to fish into these waters, I think better to be safe than to be sorry. And maybe, buy the stock a little bit higher when the story clears.
Okay, understood that. Well, that's as far as Z is concerned. Still about, although it's recovered from the day's low, it's down about 1.5% or so. But still, there are things that will play out. Of course, SAT is likely to hear the plea by the Z promoters on 15th of June. So we will await for that and any kind of developments that follow. So something which you should continue to track on Business Today TV, where we will continue to bring you updates from there. But let's get back to the markets and overall as well. A lot of other stocks that are moving up in trade today. I wanted to take your view on Inox Wind. I mean, what a spectacular move that we've seen after the news flow today. Your own sense of how do you see this stock? Is this stock that you track at all?
We should track it a long ago, but after they did not get any uh, growth going, then we
Yeah.
stopped tracking it. But I have few reservations on this count, and I'd not like to
Okay.
talk about that, so I'll just leave it
Okay.
on.
Okay. Apart from this, any other opportunities that you're spotting in the markets currently which you'd like to share?
So as we said, we continue to like the Adani Group.
Yeah.
So that is one space. We like Maruti. We have initiated coverage on Maruti recently. We
Okay.
have initiated coverage on SBI also very recently.
Okay.
SBI, we have a target of 943 from current levels of
Oh,
579 over an 18-month period.
okay.
Maruti, we have a 50% upside over the next 2 months,
Okay.
2 years, sorry. So
Uh-huh.
these are some of the recent coverages that we have initiated. And one of our other stocks which we continue to like is Capacide, which is up about 50% from when we suggested that. We still think
Okay.
that it's undervalued and it has another 50% or more to rally before it gets like all the positives get priced in.
Okay, okay, okay. Three stocks right there. SBI, which can actually move up over 900 kind of levels, as Vineet suggests. Also, Maruti has still about a 50% upside that it can achieve over the next 2 years, and Capacide Infra, which has already moved up 50%, like Vineet said when he suggested it, and still has a lot of more to go over there. So, three stocks coming in from Vineet's suggestions for all of our viewers. Thank you so much, Vineet, for being with us on the show and discussing all these wonderful insights with all our viewers, and we shall continue to discuss more about markets and opportunities for all our viewers right there. Many thanks for being with us. All right, and with that, 370 points of a move on the upside for the Sensex, 63,096, the current level on the Sensex right now, 110 points of a move on the upside. So the markets are comfortable and in the green zone. It's turning out to be a great Tuesday so far. But will it continue to hold these gains to the end point of the day, especially when the last half an hour really comes in with this kind of a move, or will profit booking really take shape? All of that coming up on Business Today TV for you. So track every movement in the markets with us. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and also continue to engage with us on our other social media platforms as well. Until then, thanks for tuning in.